ourselves in this hole because it is not right, it is not fair, it will not happen on our watch. A $10 trillion debt being handed to our children, that is not right, that will not happen. As president, John will impose a spending freeze to cover all but the most vital function of government. Vital functions like worker retraining and the care of our veterans. And we will balance the federal budget by the end of our first term. John and I will bring tax relief to every American and every business. We're going to let small business owners keep more of what they earn and produce. We do this so that they can hire more people, create more jobs. That's how the economy gets moving. Yes. And we're the only candidates in this race with a track record that actually proves that we can reform. We can reform Washington. We haven't been just talking the talk in our careers. We have been walking the walk. As a senator, John McCain has confronted the corrupt ways of Washington and the wasteful spending and the abuses of power. That's what he's been known for, as that maverick. As president, he's going to end those abuses once and for all. Now, a little bit about my track record so you know where I have been, and that can give you an idea of where I want to help take you and our economy. A little bit about my track record. As a mayor, I eliminated personal property taxes in my city, and I eliminated small business inventory taxes. There too, wanting to be able to hang that shingle outside our city door that says, we want business to be there. We want businesses to grow and to thrive and prosper so that they can hire more people for the families in the communities. Then, as governor, I eliminated our state fuel tax. We had a surplus there, so I took a chunk of that surplus. I'm returning it right back to the people of Alaska. It's their money. And they can spend it better than government can spend it for them. And I put the veto pen. I put the veto pen to nearly $500 million in wasteful spending. And you ruffle feathers when you do that. You don't get elected Miss Congeniality when you're saying no to the earmarks. And yeah, that's good. I got that a long time ago, 20 years ago anyway, that Miss Congeniality. That's out of my system. But John McCain also, he has promised that earmark reform also that must take place because of the abuse in Congress with the earmark process that has been corrupted. Now, in Alaska, what we did is we got back to basics and we put government back on the side of the people because I always knew who it was that I was accountable to, and that was the people who hired me. There it was the people of Alaska. So, in our administration, we will never forget that we will be there for you, working for you, the great people of America. Now, in this community and in so many like it, all that working people ask for is a good job in their own hometown. And with lower taxes and a pro-growth, pro-private sector agenda and spending under control in Washington and protection of our constitutional rights, we will get this nation back on the right track. And John and I too, we're going to end 30 years worth of failed policy and set this country firmly on a course towards energy independence. Develop new energy sources and find better ways to tap into what we've already got, like our oil and our clean natural gas. and nuclear power and coal, and we're going to create hundreds of thousands of new jobs for hardworking Americans. You know, it was just about a month ago that our opponent, my opponent, Joe Biden, he had told the voter, he said, we're not going to support clean coal. We don't support clean coal. And he's called environmentally safe offshore drilling. He's referred to that as raping the outer continental shelf. Now, both Biden and Obama have opposed this offshore drilling, and our opponents keep saying no to sound and responsible domestic energy solutions. And here again, Americans are going to have a very, very clear choice on November 4th. To meet America's great energy challenge, John and I will adopt the all-of-the-above approach that we must have in our administration. That will mean harnessing alternative sources of energy also, like the wind and the solar and the biomass and the geothermal that God has so richly blessed this land with also. Yes. And we're going to build more nuclear power plants. And whether Joe Biden approves it or not, John and I will develop clean coal technology in America. And you know, there is more coal in this free country than there is oil in all of Saudi Arabia. Our plan for clean coal is going to create over 30,000 new jobs where they're needed most. And we'll also safely drill for the billions of barrels of oil that we have underground and the hundreds of trillions of cubic feet, too, that need to be tapped into of natural gas. That does mean safely tapping into our resources offshore. We will drill here and we'll drill now. Circulating hundreds of billions of dollars every year in countries, some countries that don't really like America, asking them to ramp up production of energy sources so that we can purchase from them. Those hundreds of billions of dollars need to be circulated here, creating jobs for all of you and securing our nation. And some of these volatile regimes controlling energy use energy as a weapon. It's for the sake of our nation's security and for our future prosperity. America needs American energy resources brought to you by American ingenuity and, most importantly, produced by American workers. Talked about the missions he'd like me to focus on. Should we be blessed to serve you as Vice President, he as President, energy, government reform being top of the list, but another thing that is especially close to my heart, he'd like me to work on, happy to do it, and that's to work with families with children who have special needs. Pennsylvania Governor Robert Casey, he was asked once how society should treat the most vulnerable among us, and that would include children with special needs. And he said it's simple. You put them first in line. Governor Casey had understood that children with special needs can inspire a special love, and that is a love that our country could use a bit more of. Children are not a problem, they're a priority.